Hey guys, I just wanted to give a quick message here before we get started with this episode. I want to thank you all for continuing to listen. Danjee and I really appreciate your support. This episode that's airing this week was recorded 4 days before the storm hit. The foundation location that's mentioned in the interview is now completely gone. Ryan from Ashevillish, which is this episode, does mention them. So just keep in mind, they are completely gone now. If you're local to Western North Carolina, Asheville, or anywhere that was affected by this terrible storm, please consider that small businesses need our help now more than ever. Anyway, enjoy the episode. Thank you.
It's time to join Dan and Angie in getting to know the small business owners and artists in your town. Small biz is where it is. Let's support our community by shopping small, keeping it local, and keeping things all fine and dandy.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Indeed, welcome, welcome.
Welcome again.
And one more time, welcome.
Welcome.
I feel like Jim Carrey.
What the heck? Oh my gosh, guys. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. We do have a guest in studio this week, and we're super excited. Ryan connected with us through Instagram, I believe, and really...
I like how she says us. I'm so tuned out. She's like, oh, we have a guest. I'm like, oh, thank God for you. I'll record it.
You're like, I'm here.
Right.
But you have a really cool clothing brand here in Asheville.
Thank you.
I love the name of your clothing brand so much. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get all into it about where this came from. But Ryan's here from Ashevillish.
Thank you. Thank you.
Love it.
Such a cool name. And thank you for bringing us shirts. If you're watching a YouTube video, we are all three wearing Ashevillish shirts
out.
now.
We're
Very
decked
cool.
out.
We're decked out. We're matching.
Heck
I
yeah.
love it.
So I love that. I love this name. First of all, I'm gonna say what this name means to me. Okay. Because I thought Ashevillish. I said, well, we've only lived here since December, so we're not like, we're not.
We can't claim to be Ashevillians yet.
We can't be. We're not Ashevillians yet, right? So I said, well, we're kind of Ashevillish.
You are. You are. Yes, indeed. You have the shirts now. It's official.
Yeah, that's what it means to me.
That is kind of what the meaning is.
Really?
Yeah. When I came up with that, it was just to kind of encapsulate everybody, because there's so many people like y'all. You've only been here a little bit, but you're shining a light on stuff like me and all these other great things around here. So you're Ashevillish. You fit the bill.
I love it.
I love that. And probably people even that, visit the city, they're purchasing the shirts if they're in stores and stuff because they love the vibe. That's why they're coming to Asheville, right? So for them to sport a shirt that says that, I think it's a great conversation starter too.
It is, because if you're visiting, you could be Ashevillish because you love Asheville enough to come see it, but also you got to think there's people that have been here their whole lives and don't even do any of the cool Asheville things. So they're still Ashevillish, but they might not go to all the breweries. They might not go to the restaurants. They might have just lived here their whole life, go to work, come home. But they're still cool too. They're still Ashevillish. They might be the Ashevillians, but they're still Ashevillish because they might not even know all the cool things. So it kind of like we all fit in this little mold. So I'm just trying to make something cool that everybody likes. And
I love it. It's got such a positive vibe, man. I really love it. And it seems like, we talked about this last time we were hiking, that there's so much to do around here.
Oh,
I would imagine if you lived here your whole life, you still could find, we feel like it's unlimited choices every weekend now. But I would imagine even if you've been here most of your life, maybe all your life, there's still new stuff that you find out about to do. And
man, I would tell y'all, I've been doing this Ashevillish just 6 months. I started an Instagram account.
Yep.
And in that just 6 months, I've met and learned so many things about Asheville that I had no idea existed.
Oh, wow.
And it's just about the connecting with the people. That's really what it's about too, like connecting with people and through clothes, through shirts, just using using my shirts to connect, build like this bridge with people, because there's so many different avenues and different pockets of people that are around here and like Asheville, and trying to connect them all through clothes and just being like, okay, this shirt speaks to me and this shirt is cool, so I need a piece of that. And
let me say comfy, by the way, too.
Oh, well, thank you.
Because that is very important. Like, how many times do you buy a shirt and and you're like, well, I got to wash that immediately because that's starchy, right?
You got to have a soft shirt, man.
And it's a really nice fit, and it's hard for me to find a t-shirt that fits me good, so I really like it. Also, you have a lot of different styles, and we'll post some up on the YouTube video are talking about this, but I love that too, because when you talk about all different kinds of people and all different kinds of styles or whatever, different people in Asheville that you're bringing together, like this is my style for sure, but you've got some that are more like we said before we came on that almost look like a tattoo design. There's one with the mushrooms on it.
I want that
lots of different artists that you have helping you do this.
Well, I thought that I was like, okay, there's all these people in Asheville, they're all Ashevillish, but they all like different things like me. So why just make one shirt? That's where I felt there was a need. Why just make one type of shirt and just pump that out like, oh, this is Asheville? It's like, no, there's so many different little people with different styles that need to be, have something that they can represent their city and represent Asheville well. So that was kind of the thought process of it. Like, no, something cool for everybody, whether it's you're someone who likes the outdoors, whether you're someone who likes to skateboard, whether you're someone who likes rock and roll, whether you like rap, whether you are old or young, try to have something that sticks out where you're like, oh, I like that. So
I like that
that's kind of how it's different, and it's not just putting myself in one box.
Yeah.
So it's not a logo; it's almost a thought.
It's a thought. It's like a movement, man. It's just like I said.
That's what I was going for. Yeah.
It's just trying to. My thought is like I'm trying to build the brand and build to just the community of connecting people. Where it's like, okay, I want to be a part of that because I am Ashevillish. I've lived here for 20 years. I've raised my family here, so I'm Ashevillish, and I want that. And I might not want to wear a shirt that always has beer on it or always has certain things. There is an Asheville.
Or mountains.
There's an Asheville
time.
aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like if you go out of town and people expect like that aesthetic with Asheville, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a lot of people here, like you were saying, you're like, man, I just want to throw something like this on that I can just go to the grocery store, feel cool.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it started, something that I would wear.
So let's go back to that. Like, what was the inspiration? Like, how did it start? Like, how did you make your very first shirt?
And can I interrupt this just enough to say, I did watch your little clip where you talk about how you had it on a water bottle.
I did.
But how did you come up with that part even to begin with?
So what happened was I would go, like I told y'all earlier, I would go visit family in Detroit and other big cities, and they would have all the cool swag, every store, just, and they would have all this different stuff that would appeal to me. And I'm like, man, I need something with Asheville. Like, I want to represent my city. Like, I want to do this. And so I was just kind of like looking around through websites and through shops. And I was like, man, nothing is jumping out at me.
Yeah.
So I really just got on my phone I downloaded an app, got on the phone and just played around with letters. Like, okay, Asheville. And I played around with it. And I was like, Ashevillish. That's kind of how I was just sitting there, and it's kind of like, we're Ashevillish. So it stuck. And it was really simple, AVL. I made it on my phone. I found on Amazon that I could order 5 stickers, my own, like uploaded design, 5 stickers for like $6. So I was like, cool. Put it on a laptop, water bottle. And that's how it started. And the water bottle, I had it at work. I had it around some friends and stuff.
So somebody just noticed it.
And they're like,
I want one of those.
Huh. Where'd you get that? I was like, I just made it. They're like, oh. And
that's brilliant. You're marketing just by living your life.
And I had one of my buddies. He was over at my house. He came by. He was like, man, that's pretty sick. And I'm like, oh, thanks. And then I was just like, okay,
there's something here.
So then I started getting my wheels turning and stuff. And then I just basically put it on a shirt, real cut and dry, just my AVL Ashevillish. And it started taking off and getting traction. And I was like, whoa. So then it just got my creative juices going. So I'm just sitting here just coming up with stuff. And that's when I was like, I need to pay homage to the city. Like, that's what it's about too. That's why you see on these designs, there's pictures of different little Easter eggs. And I have collage shirts that pay homage to buildings that may not even be here anymore.
I love that.
Stuff that I knew growing up.
So I have to ask you about one of those because on your website, I think it's the one that has the collage. And I know it's the guy from The Goonies.
Yes.
Is it Burt Reynolds?
It is.
What is that from?
So that is an iconic mural at Burial Beer.
Oh, and nice.
I just, that mural they have on Burial Beer is just so cool to me.
That is so weird and
so
great.
I put it in there just kind of paying homage because Burial, I feel like, is an awesome brewery. And they have awesome art. and it was just like a plug to like, no, this place is cool. But then I put it right next to a hotel called Rabbits that went out of business 30 years ago.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And
that was the RC Cola sign?
RC Cola Rabbits. It was like an African-American like restaurant, hotel place a long time ago. And it went out of business, but people used to eat there. It was great. And it means something to Asheville.
Sure.
Yeah.
Probably been through generations.
Well,
so things...
because just being here, learning the history, right? Little tidbits that I get here and there. There's a huge history, deep history in this town. So that is important to keep that alive, kind of.
I like it when someone who sees my shirt and is like a little older person, and they're like, oh my God, I remember that building. Or
That's
I
how you're
remember
appealing to everybody.
And
though.
I'm like,
that.
yeah, man, like you do. Like, that's why I put that on there, because I knew it would appeal to some older people. I knew it would appeal to people of this walk of life. You know,
and they probably appreciate that too, that like that part of that history is not being forgotten.
No, yeah. And that's part of it, like paying homage to the city, the roots of the city, the old and the new, and trying to make it look cool and appealing to just all the different people.
That is amazing.
Great attitude. Yeah. So how are you, so I noticed you collab with like some local small businesses and stuff. How are you collabing with people to create shirts for them? Like, do they give you input and then you kind of create it?
I really haven't been doing much of that. I mean, people might bounce ideas off of me.
Okay.
I really I take everybody's feedback though. Like, I have done like pop-up shops and people are like, oh, you should really think about doing this. And I'm like, Then I kind of think about it, maybe try to put my own spin on it. And like, you're onto something. If you like this, there's other people that like this.
Yeah.
And no idea is a bad idea.
You did say though that your right before we started recording, you had an artist pull together one of the shirts.
I did. So, all the artwork is typically stuff that I've designed. Except I do have one shirt that I haven't even brought it out or marketed it yet. But the artist who does Burial Beer's art cans for their beer, I just think their art is dope. And it's like a way to pay homage to the beer cans. Instead of putting a beer can on a shirt, why don't I just get the artist who does the beer can art to do a shirt for me? And it's kind of a heavy metal theme, kind of fall in line with that. But I just think their art is dope. And it's like, instead of a beer can shirt, I'll just do a shirt with the artist who does the beer can art.
Yeah.
So it's my way of paying homage.
To one of those local businesses that you really support and love so much.
To a local business. So it's like, what better way than to have the artist do a shirt, get a design from the artist and put it on my shirt. And that kind of pays homage to them, just letting them know, like, listen, you got sick stuff. I like it. It is Ashevillish. And I think that we need to put it on a shirt.
I love that word so much.
So I definitely, whenever that one comes out, I will definitely buy one of those. That sounds like my style.
Yeah. Well, and also, we definitely have to go to Burial. I can't say the word.
You have to go to
Burial.
Is burial? Is that what you're saying?
Burial.
Say it again?
Burial.
Burial.
I always say burial though.
But you do that with a lot of words. Aren't you originally from Michigan too?
Half and half.
Half and half.
Probably...
we have the ties though. From the same little areas, but
Well, I'm teasing her because she says stuff like garage. It's one syllable.
And she probably likes Verner's and calls it pop.
Oh, pop.
I did get switched to soda.
Oh, okay.
Because I moved to Florida when I was 12.
Okay,
so the pop kind of went out. But it was pop for a long time. And
see?
then when all your friends are like, what are you talking about?
They're like,
you got to switch it.
You're like, okay,
you got fine.
To. You had to fit it. You're in middle school. You had to fit in.
Being from Florida, everything was Coke, no matter what kind of. It could have been a Sprite, but it was like Coke.
Just give me a Coke.
Right. That's really weird. So back to the shirts for a minute. So how do people buy them though? So you say you do pop-up shops. Do they order online from you?
So I have not got a website going. I really just started this whole thing 6 months ago, and that's the beauty of it. It's happened organically, and it's not forced.
Yeah.
So people message me on Instagram and Facebook to buy the shirts, and that works. I also have shirts at the Foundation Studios down in the River Arts District. Really dope spot. They got a bar in there. You can go buy drinks. You can buy artists. They have artwork in there. I got my shirts in there.
Right.
What's it called? Foundation?
Yeah, Foundation. It's right across from the marquee. Have y'all been just in that area?
Yeah, we've been down in that area. I just don't know the names of all the
Foundation
places.
Studios awesome. I have shirts in there, and like I said, it's a cool spot. Like they have a bar, they have like music and stuff on certain nights. All these
Sounds
awesome
cool.
artists.
Yeah.
They have graffiti everywhere. It is amazing. And then I also have shirts at the Cottage Collection on North Lexington. The Cottage Collection was the first place. They reached out to me, got a shirt, and she let me put shirts in the shop. She has been amazing. Andrea, shout out to her. She has supported me. She's been the best.
I think I
Cottage
saw.
Collection.
Is that the one on your Facebook page where
Yep.
there's like a display of your shirts hanging? Oh,
yeah,
very nice.
she has been supporting me, and I'm so grateful for that.
Oh, I love it.
And they said they sold out of the mushroom shirt. And
Yeah.
I see why, because it's super cute.
It is cool. And I'm actually restocking that stuff. But it's been organically growing. And that's the cool thing about it. Just trying to build the brand, because I feel like you got to make something that people want.
Sure.
Like, I don't want to make a shirt or make a design and then just force it on people like, oh, I got this shirt. Come buy it. Come buy it.
Yeah,
you need to get this. I'm like, there's a little bit of a mystique. Like, no, this is a very cool thing. And I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And when you buy the shoes you buy or whatever the case may be, a lot of times it's just you like it. It isn't because people were trying to peddle it to you.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what I like, or this is cool. So that's kind of my approach. I'm not
I like it.
I don't want to force it on people.
Have you considered doing like limited runs of some of them? Because I guess it reminded me of like if certain people had some and then you can never get those again.
I have thought of doing like exclusive stuff and doing drops and like getting the hype build up. Like, okay, I got a new drop coming. So that definitely is in the works. Like there's an exclusivity, but it's weird to make it's like not exclusivity, but I want everybody to be a part, but I also want it to be just
like a
cool.
super fan.
Yeah, like cool. Like I don't want it to be just this thing that people feel is forced on them. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
And I want it like people to genuinely feel like they want to be a part of it, because it's more than just clothes. Like I was talking to somebody recently, like I would like to collaborate.
Yeah.
Collaboration is the key. Doing this podcast, sitting here talking to y'all, spitting ideas, collaborating with people.
Well, that's why when you
we
said the
just had-
artist, it excited me because you're collaborating and
Yeah.
We just had an artist who said she's wanting to
Connect with him.
connect with him.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I saw
last
that.
week.
Yeah.
I saw that podcast.
Tara Singh,
Yes.
yeah.
And I would. Yeah. So collaboration is the key. And I feel like I don't want to compete. I want to collaborate. Like
Yeah, I
with
love that.
anybody. Like a podcast.
that's what we always say. Like competition, a healthy competition is nice, but also just supporting each other. That's going to make you blow up more than anything else.
There's no shortage of success. I love it
Yeah.
when and this is like a small business vibe a lot, and I love it because I say I love it too much. By the way,
I love it.
I watch the podcast when I'm editing, and I'm like, I love it. But we've seen even that small businesses that are like, oh no, the business is all mine, I'm not working with others. They don't do as well as those that are like, everyone's welcome to. It's not like there's a shortage of success in the world, and it seems like the more collaborative you are, the more successful everyone is.
I was joking, but not joking with somebody. I was like, I would collaborate with like one of these restaurants. Like, give me an Ashevillish hot dog.
Yeah.
Like, let me do an Ashevillish beer can. Like,
There's so much you could do. That's the thing. Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't want to put myself in a box, and I'm open to working with people because that's how you grow.
Yeah.
Iron sharpens iron. You put your mind with other people, like just putting yourself in rooms with different people and just helping it grow. So that's, my philosophy with it.
I just about said I love it. It's cross promotion though, because in those cases you have businesses that really, a clothing manufacturer has nothing to do with making beer, but you're both taking your fans and introducing them to each other that they might not otherwise meet.
I'm feeling like, really the sky's the limit with kind of what you could do with this.
Yeah, and that's how, it's all about showing love too. That's one of the things when I first started like doing the Instagram thing. I kind of had to teach myself how to use Instagram because I really didn't.
That's because you're in your 40s. Welcome to my world.
I'm in my 40s.
Learning.
I hadn't used it, and so I was teaching myself, watching YouTube videos. Like, what do I got to do? I got to post. I got to tag people, and it's about showing love. Like, if I go to a restaurant, I am going to take a picture and show love. Like, man, this place is cool. This is dope. Bam. This is an Ashevillish place. Like, so it's all about connecting to people, connecting to businesses, and knowing them like, man, this is dope. I want to give you your flowers. This is a great place. And, this is you get my stamp of approval, and, it's all love.
Yeah.
That would be a great thing, even just since you are, supporting the community so much. you make your stickers, right? That say Ashevillish, and you know how you go to the stores and they have like stickers of, you know, a place that you get a discount if you're a part of that or whatever. But just to show that this has Ashevillish stamp of approval.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, you never know. And like I said, the sky's the limit. You can't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't turn down any collaboration or any opportunity. I heard once the only thing you turn down is your collar. So you don't turn down opportunities. So if anybody,
that's a great saying.
If anybody came to say like, let's do this or let's work together, I'm like, I'm all ears because, you know, I can only learn from it and grow from it.
It's a great town to do it too because it's a very artsy town. So you have all different kinds of artists.
Yeah, artists, like collaboration. Like I could do a series where it could be like you were saying, a limited drop. Here we are brainstorming.
Yeah.
I could get artists and do an exclusive artist Ashevillish drop. It's like when they're gone, but then I would promote it. The artist promote it. It'd make it exclusive. But it'd be like, oh, that's dope. I got a piece of that artist, the Ashevillish. You know, there's sky's the limit.
Or event based even because you know those things. It's like the event helps promote it, and assuming it's promoting small businesses, but then it becomes like a concert shirt when we were kids. You know, you couldn't get it unless you were there.
Yeah. And then it's a conversation piece. And then you're talking, and it always brings it back to Asheville, right?
Yep.
So that's the thing. Somebody wears that shirt in Florida.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to be like, oh my God, that's so cool. Where'd you get that shirt?
Yeah.
They're going to go into a little story about where they got the shirt and what it means. Or, you know, oh, I liked it because of this. And I saw this place. And
I actually I went here and I went there.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's what it's like. I'm telling you, like, that's what it's connecting the people. Cool shirts to connect people is kind of how it started. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we're sitting here talking, we've connected, you know, talking our stories and stuff. And if I weren't doing this, we would have never sat here and had this moment, these conversations. Right. So we connected.
And if we weren't doing this.
Yeah. So if you were, I mean, it's just one of these things to where it's just opening up doors and let me meet really cool people.
That's honestly, doing our podcast, that's one of the things when we started it that I don't think we really considered because we just wanted to promote small business and the town we were in, you know, we see a lot of the big businesses getting a lot of the attention. As Angie likes to say, a lot of the small businesses don't toot their own horn, but they don't have a budget for marketing. Yeah. So try to build a buzz.
Yeah,
try
they're
to go.
working the business, so it's usually they're entrenched in it, right?
Yeah, but one of the sort of collateral benefits of the whole thing is we've made great friends.
Yeah.
We've gotten businesses collaborating with each other and continue to do business together, and just that sort of human connection. Yeah, I think it's the thing that has kept us doing this whole time because we during COVID, you know, we kept going, but we were doing, you know, Zoom calls and stuff, and we missed
the connection.
Having that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's different being in a room with somebody and feeling somebody's vibe and their energy.
It was
as
like
opposed to just over the internet.
Yeah, it was like a consolation prize. It was better than no communication, but you could feel a difference.
And some of those people that we initially met and kind of connected with via Skype, we actually had back in the studio so we could meet in person.
Yeah.
Some people several times, Mr. James Hicks.
Yeah, he's our all time. But the energy of people meeting together and connecting, I feel like one of the sort of collateral things of that is business a lot of the times. A lot of, whether it's with us, a lot of times it's not necessarily with us, but it's, like Tara just said, I want to meet with them.
Yeah.
Or, you know, businesses that are like, that might be a good fit.
Yeah,
so.
no, that's dope. And what you guys are doing here is amazing because you are bridging gaps, you're connecting people, and the fact that y'all just moved up here and are already doing it here and, you know, and getting ingraining yourself in Asheville, I just kudos to y'all for doing that.
Oh, thanks.
Because,
we love it.
You know, it's not easy.
Filtrate ourselves.
Yeah, it's not easy just to, you know, it is you got to build it brick by brick.
That's 100% true. In fact, we first moved here. I scrambled to try to throw the studio together in the first week. And then we're like, well, what do we do? How do we because the town we started in, I grew up in. So I knew a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But I will say this about Asheville. This is an Ashevillish thing. The small business community has been amazing as far as just like, in the artist community, everyone is just like embracing the whole thing. So
yeah, they show a lot of love here. And there is a really good community for the small businesses, the artists. I mean, there's little pockets of communities where the small businesses are thriving here and they support each other. Like there's a lot of support
Yeah,
in Asheville.
So you've heard of Go Local here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just that is like some of the first people that, I kind of heard about. And I was like, oh, that's kind of like what we do, but they're doing it on like a huge scale, right? And I'm like, let me go to a networking event and meet them. But what they do, just really showing support and bringing those connections together again.
Yeah, that's what it's all
great.
about. Like, because that's kind of why I started doing Instagram, because it's like you could have this really cool idea, but if nobody knows about it, it's just an idea, and it's just in your head.
It's just yours.
Here. But getting it out there and getting the right people to see it and know it's there, kind of like your podcast. It's like, if, y'all could sit down and have y'all could sit down and have great conversations all the time. You could have friends over and just amazing moments, but if it's not on the podcast and for people to see, then it's like, man, it's just that moment. And it's good to be able to share that stuff with the world if you got something cool.
I mean, we've even had some of our friends where we've only done one, and we need to do another one. We did what do we call it? After Dark.
Oh yeah, we did an episode where
it was just our friends,
just goofing around, talking about nothing, and we resisted doing that for a while. But I think once we got a following, it was like, why not? It's great.
Yeah.
And then people get to know
break
you
it
better.
up, do something.
Just sitting around having a couple bottles of wine,
a couple drinks, and it feels organic, and it lets people know that you're a real person.
Oh yeah, and we're talking about aliens and all kind of crazy stuff. And it was super fun. We're gonna do another one of those, but
that's the cool thing. Just let people know I'm a person too, man. I'm not perfect, and we're just trying to do our thing, and that's what people want to see. That's what I like. When I looked at your podcast,
how'd you find us, by the way?
So
I was going to ask that, and I forgot.
Oh,
so thank you.
Yeah, so I think it just because I have the Ashevillish page, and it really just does nothing but it's the algorithm, I guess, picks up just Asheville and small businesses stuff.
Yeah,
and one of your things popped up, and so I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I did a little looking, so I was like, let me just see. I was like, I was like, okay, I got to get out of my comfort zone. I got to, do something like this. And I was like, it looks a cool vibe. So let me just reach out and see what happens. And
very nice.
And it's
great.
It was cool, man. But now that's how it happened. It just came on Instagram, and I was like,
Wow. And that's what you have to do. Like you said, getting out of your comfort zone. Like, when I first got here, like I was doing a lot of cold calls or, just emailing businesses that I looked up and thought were cool. It looked cool and we thought it'd be a good fit for the show and didn't get a lot of responses. So then I'm like, okay, we got to get in places and see people face to face. You know what I mean? And make a little plant the name,
build that following, build the brand. It's all about branding with a lot of stuff. I realized that okay, I got to really focus on branding. It's not even, for me, like right now, I'm like, it's not about sales. It's not about money. It's about
recognition of the
building
brand.
a brand, building like people around me that want to be a part of the brand. And, don't even think about it like, I got to make this money. I need to sell shirts. Because it didn't even start off with trying to make money. It really just started off with wanting a cool shirt.
Yeah. Just wanting a cool, it wasn't even like a passion project or anything.
No.
It was just, I want a cool shirt for myself.
And then I stumbled on it, and now I'm like, I can't believe I love designing shirts and messing around with different ideas so much. Like, I got a phone full of ideas of just random stuff where I'm like, that feels Ashevillish. Like,
You just start a notepad, when you're just going around during your day.
Yep.
Now, getting into more of like, the getting your business going, like making the shirts. Do you make your own shirts? Or do you work with somebody?
I actually make all my shirts.
All right. So you've got all the equipment needed and learned how to use it.
I taught myself how to do all this stuff. It was a lot of YouTube, a lot of like, I'm going to figure this out. Like, I could just pay people to design shirts and I could pay people to do all this, but it's like, no, this is my thing and I just enjoy it.
That's
and
awesome.
I'm going to figure all this out. And so I'm like buying heat presses and all this stuff. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to figure this out. And that's just kind of.
So talk about that process a little bit. How many shirts did you ruin?
Well,
because it's a little tricky, right?
I have a lot of samples that I have, it's like I have a ton that I'll wear because I'm like, they didn't turn out great. I wouldn't sell this to nobody. I wouldn't even give it to anybody, but I'll wear it to the grocery store.
Yeah.
You probably, where something's off a little, but nobody would notice but you.
Yeah. So it really started the very first time I made a shirt. We have a cricket, and it started with a cricket. I was like, let me just try this on a cricket. I was like, okay. But I was like, that's really just like, I want it to look better than that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
those are like for making, for Team Mom.
Yeah,
or, you know what I mean?
how
It's
I
like
felt.
a quick
It's like a
thing.
one-day shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. And it started off with cricket and shirts from Hobby Lobby, just like a cheap, like Gildan shirt. And I was like, okay, this is nice, but and it's all about how you put it together. I'm going to style it good. And I'm like, okay. But then I was like, so I started YouTube and looking at, first there was a screen printing. And then I'm like, well, I want to put way more colors and designs than screen print really is going to allow me to do.
Yeah.
So I found the DTF transfers. It's like, people, they do, and I get my designs, upload them, and they send me big rolls, and then I just have these measuring things, and I measure it out on the shirt and press them, and then try to make sure I get like the good soft shirts and all that stuff. So it has evolved in the last 6 months a lot, and hopefully it's going to continue to evolve. I've learned how to make stickers. On a website, I figured out how to make keychains, just different little things. So I just get
beer
in there.
koozies need to be on there.
Yeah, I don't know why I don't have beer koozies.
You need
for
beer
Asheville,
koozies,
yeah, for
and
sure.
And you should sell them in the burial.
Yeah, I need
In the
to. I need
in the
to,
garage.
See, look, I haven't even thought of beer koozies. I'm mad because summer's winding down. That is the beer koozie season, but
Yeah.
it'll be all right. I'm gonna.
Yeah, but you know what? You always have to keep your beer cold, no matter what. Like if your beer gets your beer gets hot just from touching, the glass and stuff. So
that is a good. See, by us talking,
See?
that hasn't even been on my radar.
You know what though? You're
I got
talking
ideas
about.
sometimes.
You're talking about not trying to just rush out and sell shirts and make money. And I feel like that is going to continue to build the brand to be like a symbol of something almost. Like I feel like it gives it more
Value it.
yeah, like you'd be more
Value,
proud to wear
yeah.
one because it's like it I know we already said it's like a movement, but I feel like that approach, I'm not a business expert by any means, but I feel like that approach is certainly the long-term road to success because you could probably pound out thousands of shirts and just trying to make a buck and
Getting
move
them
on.
in every store.
I could.
Yeah.
I could try to just. And I could peddle them hard. I could push them on people like, yo, come. I see people come shop with me, buy my shirt or whatever. But no, I don't. I want people to want it.
Yeah.
And
you remind me. So I sell my novels at book booths. We're going to do one here. I haven't done it yet here, but I always had this problem where the first couple I did, I see other vendors doing, hey, how you doing? You interested in it? And I hate that. I hate it when I'm shopping.
I hate it
But
too.
what I learned is just talking, genuinely talking. Like I don't care if they buy. You would leave me at the booth by myself, and I'm not a salesman.
Yeah.
So I would just start talking about their dog, and I would have people just keep going. I don't care. I would just talk to them. Yeah. But my sales went way up just from being genuine like that.
But that is the key. I've worked retail my whole life.
See, I never
key
have.
to retail is not selling the thing to the person. It's selling yourself, really.
Yeah,
Like
and-
because then they like you and like the idea, and they're like, well, I want to support that, or I want to buy that because look
Or
how
at
nice
least-
she is, or
Or at least I want to know what you're all about. This guy's so nice
Yeah.
and cool. What is it? What is it now? That gets the
and
conversation.
That's the key. Like I'm not about sales. I'm about brand. The brand is the key to me. I mean, if you think about it, if you wanted to go get a pair of Nikes, you would go buy those Nikes not because of a Nike commercial. You don't even see Nike commercials.
And
You
that's
would
a
get
good point. Yeah.
You would get those Nikes because you're like, man, Jordan wore Nikes, not LeBron, the track star, like all the people. You're like, I want to be a part of that. And
Corn.
and I just feel really cool because I have these on.
Yeah.
It wasn't because they pushed it on you. So that's kind of like how I thought of it. Like, I just want something that cool. Like, and then like when I put it together, I want to make sure that I'm looking like, okay, I want to look nice in it, like look cool, but also appealing to everybody. So that's why I said all the different designs and just building a movement and a brand, something that everybody would wear and be proud of and feel cool in and feel like I'm representing Asheville. Even if I'm just visiting for the weekend, I'm going to represent Ashevillish.
yeah.
That's a great. Tell me you've bought the domain at least.
I have the domain. I have actually filed for the trademark for Ashevillish as well.
I'm an IT guy in my day job for 30 something years. So if you told me no, I'd be like,
Keep all of your stuff.
to go do it right now
So-
and
The
get home.
same.
Call me once you've bought it. Yeah,
I
'cause
did buy the domain. I have not got a website actually going.
At least you have it though.
I just didn't want to. like rush it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff. Just to like all at once. It's been picking up so much steam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right, I got to do this right. And I don't want to just half-ass something.
And once you get into the website, that's going to be a lot of back end stuff with, people being able to purchase on it. And you're going to want professional pictures and, models modeling the pictures.
Yeah, there's
a lot to do.
I'm not sure how far along you are with that, but off air, so we don't bore everyone to tears, when we're done recording.
Yeah.
I can tell you we have 3 or 4 websites up, and I build them for people, but there's some templated based services out there that are much less expensive than the ones you hear about that work fantastic.
I heard about, is it Big Cartel or something, or something? I don't remember what it's called. Or maybe, I don't even remember. I looked into it briefly, but I was just like, you know what? Until I can devote some time and resources into this, I'm not just going to half-ass a website and have it looking janky.
Sure. But I mean,
because that can be a turnoff.
Of course.
You know what I mean? When you go to a website,
we're guilty of that.
Yeah.
We're guilty of going to a website going, oof, wow, it's a disaster.
I can't even
like a
order
scam.
anything.
Or
it looks like a scam.
Right. Or we'll go, wow, it's amazing. I can't wait to tell him how great. But my philosophy on that is when you find some of these services that have like a templated thing you start with and then you can keep tweaking it until it looks original, it takes so long that you could almost start soon and just keep massaging it over the next month until you get it right. And then once you get it right, it's really easy to update and replace things and put the back end in.
We'll definitely have to talk about that.
Sure.
Like I said, connections, man, here we are connecting.
Yeah. Love to help.
Yeah, like we have an Airbnb in Florida, and I've been working on the website for so we have our own website for it, just in case, somebody wants to book outside of Airbnb, and I'm still working on it.
I know, and I always go, welcome to my world when she comes in all frustrated, like, what?
It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, no, all that stuff is time consuming.
Yes.
And that's the one beauty of like Instagram that acts as like a temporary like website.
Yes.
And it's a way to connect with people. I heard something once that was saying, you got to post a lot. Like for a business, you got to post a lot. And I was like, okay, I got to post. And I forget how he said it, but it was something to the tune of like, people a long time ago, these big businesses paid millions of dollars for commercials just to get people, paying for people's attention. You can have your own commercials on Instagram for free.
Yeah.
Like, so you got to think about it. Like what you do with it is yourself, but you have these people's attention for free. He was like, if you think about this, when someone's watching TV and a commercial comes on, 9 times out of 10, they pick up their phone.
Yeah.
So you have the attention. And I was like,
that's a great point.
And it's worth so much. I won't get too down the rabbit hole here, but like that's the whole thing with Facebook. I mean, that's the value of that company because early on, the big advertisers realized, wow, this is worth everything because what do we have? We have people's attention.
Attention is high value. So that's one thing that was definitely getting out of my comfort zone to like post stuff on Instagram. I had to teach myself how to make these reels and do creative stuff because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just keep doing it and not do like mindless content, but stuff that is like what would be, cool and aesthetically good. But it's like, okay, this is like free commercials. Like 30 years ago, these big brands were paying millions of dollars for this, and now it's free.
Yeah.
So trying to take advantage of that.
But people love seeing real time stuff too.
Yes, they do.
I think that is been some of our most popular posts are like real time or me just doing like a, hey guys, this is what we're up to.
Me out of my comfort zone because I'm OCD, polish it, make it look perfect. And what I've learned is if it looks too much like an ad, people don't like it. So it needs to be scrappy.
People like authenticity.
That's the word. Yeah.
That is what we all like. If you could be sitting there just talking about a website and it's like, oh, what's he got to say?
Yeah.
Versus a commercial for you with a website. It's just one of those things where if you're being authentic, like your podcast is authentic. You are out there in, the breweries and hiking and it's like, oh, what is all that going on in the background? Oh, it's just nature. But it's one of those things where like, it's authentic. You're sitting here talking about stuff, trying to, build that brand, and that's what people like.
Yeah.
And we've learned that along the way because we did start very polished. We were very, I mean, we had like a skit.
We didn't have our
Like,
E for explicit rating until about a year in when we were like, because
no
you know
bad words. You
I-
got like everybody on their best behavior,
come
which is
from
not how we normally are.
I come from the corporate world, though, and I'm in video calls and stuff for the past 15 years. So it does something to you where in my normal life, I'm a curse like a sailor. But in my business life, and I'm used to when we had mics and cameras, I get in that mode where it's very corporate-y, businessy.
Yeah, very polished.
And so she has had to get me back to being just normal. I think we've been good influences on each other that way.
Well, he would take bloopers out and everything. Like,
Yeah.
if we
Oh, it'd
made
be 4 hours of
mistakes,
editing. Now there's no
he
editing.
spent so much
No, but
time.
the mistakes are the best. Like
Yeah.
you said,
People love them, and I
and
make a lot of them.
everybody, because everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah.
And no one is perfect.
Yeah.
And that's what people like to see, because if we're all dealing with stuff on the inside, and it's like we might be covering it up, but you might resonate with somebody like, oh, he wasn't scared to fuck up.
Exactly.
And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I just fucked up today,
Right.
and you weren't scared to. So now I am connecting with you.
Right. And you
So-
that's a great way to put it, because you like people more. I was just thinking, when you see like the bloopers from movies, even, I like the actors better, because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, look at this guy, you know?
I feel like you resonate, especially people that resonate with you. It makes it easy. Like, for instance, you were like, oh, I know Novi. I'm like, man, now we resonated because we know something.
I know,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
If you have a story where you're just saying like, man, I struggled my ass off all these years and I finally made it. And then someone who's going through that is like, gosh, he's speaking my language. Like, he knows what I've been through.
Yep.
So when people can feel the realness and authenticity, it's good. And like I said, that's kind of how I'm trying to do with the shirts, like the authenticity, the realness of Ashevillish, because there's homeless people in Asheville. There's people with drug problems. There's poor. There's rich. There's you
there
name it.
is a whole mixture.
There's
of people, and I love
everybody,
it. Yeah.
and it's like I'm not gonna turn my cheek to certain people, because we're all what makes Asheville what it is.
Yeah.
Some of it's ugly, some of it's pretty, but it's all the same.
Yeah.
And that's who we are, and that's fine. That's the good thing about it.
I love that.
It is a very inclusive town. I mean, that we have felt that
is.
vibe right away,
Yeah.
where, like Angie said, we're doing like cold calls.
Yeah.
And that's no fun when you don't really know yet. You don't have that connection yet. But it's just been, it's been really, everyone is very inclusive.
Yeah,
You know?
and it's a very southern charm here, even though I know we're not the South, are we?
Yeah,
we're
Is it considered
technically the South.
Yeah,
We're the South. If
I
you look
guess.
at you know what it is? We come from Florida. I mean, really,
Yeah.
you've been
Real
there most of your
South.
life.
Yeah.
Well, but Florida is one of those weird places where, like, we were in the southern pockets of Florida. So, I mean,
Okay.
I grew up with like
Yeah.
a country accent, kind
Yeah.
of. My family has that accent, but Florida is the only place where you can sort of move south and go more north. People
Because
say,
all the North people,
Yeah.
I have an aunt who
Retire
has
there.
a house down there.
Yeah.
So all
Yeah.
the northern, you got more Yankee slang down there.
Yep.
Than,
and living my corporate life with people that were all from the Midwest, my accent wore off because the people you're around. But if I get around people from Apopka, next
comes
thing
out.
you know, I'm talking
Yeah.
more. Where it's like,
it comes out, man. It really does come out.
yeah,
Yeah.
but there is like a very southern charm.
there's
and
Here,
nice,
there really is, yeah.
Nice. Like I don't feel. I mean, I hate to say it because I drive Uber during the day, right? And people aren't beeping and stuff all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like in Florida, it's very aggressive on the roads. Like it is
all those
total
New Yorkers
different
moved
feel.
down there.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because traffic can get bad around here.
Yeah.
But then it's all relative, because if you go down to like Orlando, like you said, or Miami or Jacksonville,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, this traffic is nothing.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. So just for clarity, Orlando traffic is bad. Miami traffic is off of the chart. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's the worst I've ever experienced. But I've never driven in a big city, so
Yeah.
Oh, neither have I. So I
Yeah.
haven't even been to a really big
I've
city.
seen it though. I won't. I'll Uber in a big city because I'm not driving in that. It's terrifying, you know.
No, it's not worth it, man. Especially if you're not from there and you don't know the
I'll have a nervous.
the unspoken rules.
Unspoken rules.
And you're just like, what
exactly.
did I do?
I'll have a nervous breakdown. Yeah, in New York, it's like an army of horns. If you've ever been downtown New York, you hear them everywhere.
And you're just like, no, you don't want a part of that. It's
Yeah.
like, did I put my signal? Did I need to do this? Like, what's going on?
And the culture in New York is so funny because I had a buddy of mine that moved from New Jersey here. But, in New York, everyone's beeping. You flip each other off. Fuck you, man.
Yeah.
And then it's nobody takes anything personal. He said the first month I was here, I did that. And a guy showed a gun in his car. And he goes, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. That's in Florida.
Yeah. He was like, whoa, yeah. It's
a little different.
They play by different rules down here.
You will disappear.
That's the beauty of it, though. It's all
big melting pot.
Yeah, it's all the different stuff. And like I said, I'm that's cool that y'all brought this to Asheville. And
thank you.
I hope more small businesses and more places connect with y'all, and you get to do some other good things.
We've met some really cool people, and we're very thankful for the guests that we've had on so far, and we just look forward to having more. Like, this is what we love to do.
But by that same rationale, if you have friends or other businesses that you want to send on, we love it. And if you want to come back on, we'd love it.
I would love all that stuff.
Yeah.
I would love it all. I would, just to, like I said, build that rapport and, put people on, and just, it's all about growth and connecting. So I'm definitely down for that.
So you go. See? I was going to ask, like, what's next?
Me
like,
too.
What are
we're
doing the same thing? We're leading.
So, well, I am just trying. It's the fall, so I'm trying to get my hoodies and stuff in order.
I was going to ask
some beanies, little beanies and hoodies. So that is my next step, to get all that going and to try to, curate a look for the fall. And then I'm already thinking of the spring now. I'm like, oh goodness, like this is how it goes in the fashion world. Like, I'm like, I got to think of some cool stuff to come out in, like, that I can be ready for, like in the spring. So
yeah, you got to be like a season or two ahead, right? When you are doing apparel.
I do feel like I'm going to lean into some like weird Ashevillish ugly Christmas sweater vibe.
I love that.
I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I feel like it's going to have like bears and beer and my logo and some kind of like...
Just find the really weird eclectic stuff about Asheville that's like...
Because I feel like I need
weird.
a piece of the...
Yeah.
Need a piece of that, but that's, that's what I'm up for. And like I said, just doing stuff like this, growing like podcast, networking.
I just thought of something. You've been here for 20 years, so maybe this is not that good of an idea, but I was thinking if you had like a call out to all the locals, look, if you got old pictures or a location I should know about or something that's...
The old pictures would be good. There are places that I know about that I was just like, man, we used to go there, but that was before cameras.
Yeah.
That was before phones. So like, do pictures exist?
Yeah, that's what the internet's good for, though.
Yeah, I do need to do something like that, do like a call out, because there are a lot of like old bars and clubs and things that, from a long time ago...
Yeah.
That I'm like, man, there's got to be somebody with some pictures of these places, just sitting in a shoebox somewhere, because that was before cell phones.
Yeah.
So, all these cool things.
I wonder if you go to the library if they have.
I don't know.
You know how the newspapers, you can go back and do those little films that you look
Like
at.
the microfiche?
Microfilm. I wonder if you could find something.
I only know about that because of old detective movies. They still do that, or is it like the internet now?
Might be the internet.
I don't know.
It might be the internet. But
I think they still have like newspapers on the wooden poles that you go flip through? Maybe. They might.
Well, they have it on the computers.
Microfiche.
Yeah, but
maybe the microfiche is uploaded into the computer now.
It seems like now
that seems more logical.
They just put it into Google now.
Yeah.
Just put it in the Google.
But that is a good, because always looking for cool old school stuff, the new stuff.
Yeah.
It's like paying homage to the old and the new and marrying it together in a cool design.
Yeah.
Even the new stuff that you might not know about, it seems like it'd be cool if someone's like, oh, this place is kind of because there's so much going on.
Much.
I've got it's crazy. There's so much. I was like thinking, like, I have ideas. Like, I want to pay homage to like the food service workers. Like, let me think of something cool, or like do like pay homage to like farmers markets. I was like, no one has done like a bootleg crazy farmers market T-shirt and made it look cool,
like the crazy ones you get as a kid that were
But and like the retro stuff. It's just trying to think outside the box.
Yeah, there is you have an endless amount of ideas that you could use for this brand.
But you've got the name, you're building the brand. I feel like all that stuff is the fun part because you're drawing attention to it. People are interested in it. So now you have the beauty of kind of, because even the retro stuff would really appeal to me. I'm thinking, like the 80s styles with the 80s colors looks kind of worn out.
Yeah, I have a design that is, there used to be a motor speedway down. It's the Carrier Park now, where the big. I don't know if you have been down there.
The walkway is.
Yeah, there's a walkway. So when I was a kid, that was a race car track.
Oh.
And I lived near there, and you could hear it every Friday and Saturday night, the race cars. So they had a lot. If you Google it, there's a lot of old school, like great race car drivers.
You can do like a then and now.
So
shirt,
I did like a design. It's a retro NASCAR, like an old 90s NASCAR t-shirt.
Oh, I love it.
So I have that. I haven't even put it on a shirt yet, but I have stuff like that where I was like, it kind of pays homage to the fact there was the Motor Speedway, and I remember it from a kid.
Yeah.
But those like old school 90s NASCAR t-shirts, it just looked like Bush Light and just like
faded in spots.
Yeah,
right out of the box.
And like a little lightning bolt coming down. Yeah. Like, so I do have something like that just kind of the little different things that pay homage to stuff that some people might have been like, oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And, just.
that used to be here. That's interesting.
Yeah, that was here. And, things that people used to do. And there's just so much that.
Yeah, so much history.
So many different layers of Asheville. And just trying to blend it all together. And at the end of the day, making it cool and making it what people want.
Yeah.
Because I could be like, oh, I'm just going to throw all this together. But it's like, no, I got to take the time to make it cool, make it nice, and make it what somebody is going to want.
So any future plans? Like, do you have a vision of having like your own little shop downtown or off the beaten path?
No, I think if I did have a shop, I would love it downtown. I would love like a little boutique, something that would be kind of modern, have the selfie space in there. And I think that would be cool. And I really am big on collaborations though.
Yeah.
I am going to manifest that I have an Ashevillish beer can. Like that is going to be cool. I think Asheville is Beer City. What bigger thing? Or like the Ashevillish corn dog, hot dog,
like on a menu, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Like or I have Ashevillish Day at a bar and everybody in there is wearing an Ashevillish, like all the restaurant staff is wearing Ashevillish t-shirts and all the bartenders, and we do Ashevillish Day or
that would be really cool.
And one thing that I know we're probably running out of time, but one thing that I did think that I could even get y'all to help me with this to build it up is Asheville, I feel like, is lacking an 828 day. August 28th. Other big cities take advantage of doing.
Why don't I know what that is?
Like August 28th, the area code. A lot of big, like in Detroit, for instance, 313 day is massive.
The area code.
Is it March 13th? Massive day. They have collaborations with McDonald's, and Adidas made a 313 day a pair of Adidas, like big deal up there. And other cities, I think Oakland, a couple other cities do big things. Asheville needs 828 day to be cool. And I was like, man, Ashevillish, what bigger than to like get an 828? I mean, I know there is 828 day and some people do things for it, but I feel like it could be cooler.
Is 828 is that just a global term now, or
no? That's the area code.
Or is that the area code here?
That's the area code here.
Oh, it is the area. I would say I was thinking that
we still have Florida area codes.
Well, a lot of people now just keep whatever area code they had from wherever they. That's why I was wondering if it started somewhere it was 828, but that is the
that
one
is
here.
That is the area code here. So that's why I was like, man, August 28th into summer, like.
Yeah, I feel like there is a big opportunity.
There is big opportunity.
Big block party. And,
or just and like for me, I'm like, man, 828 like shirts and do this or there's a lot of different things that I'm like, man, this could.
You got all this written down, or you just keep it in your head?
Man, I really need a planner. Like, God, I really need a planner because I have a lot of stuff in my head.
You got a phone. There's these little notes that you put in here.
I really did.
And I'm telling you,
I had notes that I wrote down before I came in here.
You should love this, Angie. She loves paper.
I do like paper.
I just
make
was
sure
like,
you hit all your points. Ryan.
I was like, okay, no. What did it say right there? I just want you to.
Oh, you want me to use
podcast talking points?
Yes.
Oh, I love it. I was
like, I need to be prepared. Like,
well,
I can't.
I mean, you see, we're over here cheating with notes too. We always.
But you know what's funny, Ryan, is we used to send people the questions that we were going to ask them beforehand. And what we found was that people are so much more focused on that piece of paper. And I gotta make sure to mention that authenticity doesn't come out
and
because you're so focused on that.
We had a real
paper.
conversation, and that's kind of why
they were distracted.
I only glance over at the notes once in a while just to see, did we miss anything we want to make sure we promote for you? But on that note, is there anything else you wanted to promote?
Because this is your business, and you are being highlighted right now.
And I appreciate that. But I just, like my points, I think I was pretty good. I just, like I said, the main thing I just wanted, the business is to show love. Yeah. And philosophy that I do think you got to give to get.
That's true.
You know what I mean? You're not going to just come with your hand out and get all these things. It's like you have to give. You got to put it in.
Yeah, you got to put the work in, and you got to help other businesses.
You got to help other businesses. You got to help everybody to grow.
Yeah.
And that's all I want. I just want it to be something cool that people like you guys who came from Florida and up here, and you could put the shirt on proud, go to the grocery store, yep.
Well, as soon as I heard when I saw you on Facebook, and I'm like, Ashevillish. I feel Ashevillsh.
Yeah.
And then I went on and started looking. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you are Ashevillish. Y'all, that is what Ashevillish is. It's everybody that's here.
I feel like people listening to you talk or watching on YouTube or whatever, I think it comes through you very much that your goal, that is your goal.
That is. And
you can hear it in your voice.
Man,
like some people, they could say it and they're not selling it. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you can hear it that this is your passion is to just,
Man, it's for the people. I'm putting the city on my back, man. Like Asheville needs something cool like this, and I'm going to put the city on my back and just make sure that I'm carrying the torch to make sure that it's here for everybody.
Oh, that's great slogan. But then you got to have a shirt with Asheville on the back.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm putting Asheville on my back.
I literally put the city on my back.
But that's a great slogan though.
Yeah. I see. Brainstorm. Now I'm going to have to put that on a shirt. Yeah. And then I will have to give you one too, since you helped me come up with it, and we can just do a photo shoot.
Oh, I love it. That'd be so awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Ryan.
I appreciate y'all having me, man. It was a great experience.
I think this is going to be something that's going to be a part of Asheville for a long time to come. I really do. I think people will embrace it. The art community will embrace it for sure. Just the small business community.
Art and everybody, like you say,
the dogs,
podcasters, the dogs, the people that like fashion, you name it. Like that's all it's about. The dogs like it.
The dogs, look at her.
Oh my gosh! Well,
and if there are any small businesses out there that want to collab with Ryan, please hit him up.
Hit me up
at Ashevillish. You can find him on Instagram and Facebook.
All right.
And just like always, we'll put links in the show notes to your Instagram and to your Facebook so everybody can find you. Thank you for joining us. This was fun.
Thanks. It was.
And until next time, everybody.
All right.
Remember, at the end of each and every day, it's all fine and dandy. Hi, guys. We hope you enjoyed the show today. If you did, we would love a review. So make sure to head over to your Apple Podcast app or whatever app you listen to your podcast on and give us a 5-star review. Also, give us a like and a follow on our social media. You can find that all under Fine and Danjee. And if you want to find out more about our guest or about us, head over to fineanddanjee.com.